Today, $8.99 gets you 9,000 shows you will never watch, and that's with ads. And if you don't want ads, no problem, that's $25 a month. Plus, every studio with a morsel of valuable IP decided to make their own app. So instead of one library, you get 10 half libraries, each charging you separately. HBO Max, $21 a month. Hulu and Disney Plus, $19 a month. Peacock, $17. I sometimes have this thought like, man, I wish I could just pay one price for all of the streaming services grouped together, and then I realize that's kind of what cable was. But streaming was supposed to be the solution to cable's outlandish prices and bloated packages, and yet they are slowly turning into the very thing they sought to destroy.
Piracy is the logical situation. We got one from Patrick CC today. We're going to understand exactly why. Now, before I get crazy comments, over here in the UK, there's a flu going around in case my voice is a bit choppy, you know what I'm saying? But let's hear what he has to say.
If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing, which is why piracy is no longer seen as digital theft reserved for risk takers and your plug who knew a sketchy website. Now it's easier and more convenient than ever. TV, movies, sports, live events, whatever you want for free. It's become so normalized that piracy sites are getting more yearly visits than every streaming service combined. But this makes sense when you consider that every facet of the entertainment industry has been destroyed by corporations. Even if you're not a sports fan, you will relate to this struggle, because you need to see how insanely difficult it is just to watch a basketball game. I live in Oklahoma City, and I really wanted to follow the Thunder and the entire Western Conference a couple years ago, so I bought NBA League Pass for $110 for the season. Silly me for thinking that one streaming service would have every game. League Pass only lets you watch games that are out of market, which meant I couldn't actually watch the Thunder games because I live in Oklahoma City and those rights belong to the FanDuel Sports Network. And if the game was nationally televised, that was exclusively broadcast on ESPN or TNT, which meant I needed a cable package or another app like Hulu Live or Sling just to catch the games literally happening in my city. As of right now,
and that's the thing that streaming has basically done when it comes to entertainment overall, even when it comes to music as well. When you look at it, the intentional streaming was to basically bring people back from actually going and pirating things and going to all these third-party websites and actually coming to them, paying them maybe a small subscription in order to get access to all sorts of things. But all of a sudden, it became a thing where corporations were starting to buy out rights from different people. Corporations were starting to actually say, you know what, you're going to only exclusively get this from this platform or this platform. And as a result, we have what we have right now. To be honest, when it even comes to sports, I've never been the biggest sports fan, I'm going to be honest, right? But when it even comes to sports, part of the reason why I don't even tune in is because one time you're going to have to listen and subscribe to this platform. All of a sudden, you're going to basically have to cancel this subscription, or you have to basically spend on two platforms just to watch one match, whether it's boxing, whether it's basketball, whether it's football. I'm just like, bro, what's the point? Like, I can't do this. Do you know what I mean? I can't do it at all. And the same thing applies for absolutely everything, even down to anime now. It's getting that bad. It's crazy, bro.
If you want to guarantee that you will be able to watch all of the NBA games in the US when they are actually happening live, you need to have ESPN, which requires you to have Hulu plus Live TV or YouTube TV or Sling Orange TV or with an upgraded cable package. Then you need Peacock.
And the crazy thing is that I remember cable, right, was seen as, you could say, a bit expensive. But at least I remember if you could get a serious cable, like over here in the UK, we had things like Sky, for example. If you had Sky and you subscribe to, you know, the main things being sports, being movies, being, you know, the children's stuff as well, because I grew up on Disney and everyone did, you know what I'm saying? Bro, like, you were sweet, fam. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to watch a movie, go over to the movie channels. If you wanted to watch, I don't know, sports, switch over to the sports channel. All of a sudden, people are now on the vibe of like, okay, it's cheaper to actually just go and subscribe to something like Netflix. But even Netflix now, the lowest tier, you still got ads. What are we actually doing there? It's craziness.
Which is $11 per month. Then you need Prime Video, which is $9 per month, and ABC, which would come with your basic local cable subscription. The cheapest way to guarantee every game would be $66 in subscriptions and whatever your basic cable costs these days, which is on average about $25.
So you might as well just pay for cable, no? You know what I mean?
So roughly $91 per month just to watch basketball, the cheapest. Now, me personally, I would never pirate anything. That is behavior I absolutely condemn, but I'm not surprised anyone who would do it when all you gotta do is go to one of the many widely available free websites, click the extremely clean and clear interface that says the exact game or event you are looking for, and just watch it for free. But honestly, we should have seen this terrible streaming climate coming from a mile away, because as they say, nothing good lasts forever. And to understand why piracy is so rampant today, we have to understand this detailed list of problems that piracy solves. Netflix used to be $8 per month, and it had a deep, deep catalog of some of the most popular shows ever.
The good old days, all my days.
Made. The Office, Friends, Breaking Bad, Dexter, Family Guy, American Horror Story, Pretty Little Liars, Law and Order, and even some Disney and Pixar titles. They had the Harry Potter films, they had Star Wars, they had classic movies like Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, The Dark Knight. They even had Marvel titles before Disney Plus launched. It felt limitless, like the entire entertainment industry was in one app for the price of a fast food meal. Today, $8.99 gets you 9,000 shows you will never watch, and that's with ads. And if you don't want ads, no problem, that's $25 a month. Plus, every studio with a morsel of valuable IP decided to make their own app, so instead of one library you get 10 half libraries, each charging you separately. HBO Max, $21 a month. Hulu and Disney Plus, $19 a month. Peacock, $17. Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, Stars Play, BritBox, and niche ones like Shudder, Crunchyroll, Acorn TV all jumped into the fight, each charging $4 to $20 a month. I sometimes have this thought like, man, I wish I could just pay one price for all of the streaming services grouped together, and then I realize that's kind of what cable was. But streaming was supposed to be the solution to cable's outlandish prices and bloated packages, and yet they are slowly turning into the very thing they sought to destroy. Check out this old residential cable service price sheet from 1993. Just your basic news and weather channels was the same cost as Netflix when.
Now, I remember this used to be, obviously in the UK it was different, innit? But it's a similar format. If you wanted the premium services, of course, then you would pay a little bit extra above whatever you're trying to get, right? But I remember, yeah, it used to be seen as expensive, but when you actually look back at it, it was way cheaper than what we have right now. And also, another thing that people aren't really deep in is that, in my opinion, shows are just not as good as they used to be. You know what I mean? Before, we used to have different shows, different movies that would actually make you want to tune in. Now, oh my days, there are shows, yeah. I literally just started watching Boruto the other day for my anime lovers, right? I've been an anime lover from the get-go. You know when it used to be uncool to be into anime? Like, I was on that, do you get what I'm saying? So, back when it was Dragon Ball Z, back when it was the original Naruto, before even Shippuden, etc., right? So I've been on this way for such a long period of time. Then I was watching Boruto the other day, yeah, because when it first came out, I can't lie, I was starting to tune out of just anime just in general, because I just wanted to watch other things anyways and just see what else was out there, especially when the big three, you know, Bleach was no more thing, One Piece. I love One Piece, yeah? But, broski, over 1,000 episodes of majority is filler, like, nah, I'll wait until they end, and when they end, I'll catch up, do you get what I'm saying? Then of course Naruto Shippuden ended with the whole arc, etc. So when they announced, okay, Boruto, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. A couple years later, because obviously I wasn't following the whole hype train, right? I started watching Boruto. I'm on like episode 40, and I'm just like, bro, this is the worst, one of the worst animes I've seen in my life, bro. Like, why have we got into episode 40 and there still hasn't been a moment that's made me be like, yo, this is an anime to actually engage in? And I was asking around, people on the vibe are like, oh, that is going to take up until episode like around 100 for me to get into it. And over, like, don't get it twisted, I'm still going to watch it regardless, but just imagine a new anime fan trying to engage in anime. I'm just thinking, bro, it takes me 100 episodes to get to the point? Broski. Ridiculous. Do you know what I'm saying? So shows aren't even sick anymore, bro. Movies aren't even sick anymore because everyone's just, they care about the dollar. They care about how can we achieve a basic or a decent enough show at the cheapest budget and just basically mass produce it, because obviously everyone's just creating content now, right? And it's craziness. So as a consumer, whether I'm not gonna admit to whether I pirate or not, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we've all been there before, you know what I'm saying? Right? But allegedly, in it, allegedly, I don't really pirate, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Well, anyways, um, for the consumer, it's no wonder as to why people are basically defaulting back to all these pirating websites because look, you're able to actually engage in the shows, enjoy the shows, etc., but for free or what, just a Wi-Fi subscription. Do you know what I mean? So there needs to be some sort of solution to this where there maybe we're gonna basically bring all these packages back in or whatever. I don't really know, but it's ridiculous, bro. And the same thing has happened with music as well. Let's be real. Everyone's subscribing to, let's say, Spotify, etc. But then sometimes you be listening and you're just like, oh, I don't want to be really listening. In fact, the most valuable subscription I have right now, shameless plug, is actually YouTube Premium. Bro, YouTube Premium, game changer. But anyways,
when they first launched. Adding just 2 or 3 premium channels like the Disney Channel takes the price from $8 to $20 to $27 per month. This is actually insanely expensive for the 90s, especially when you consider that you did not get to choose what content to watch or when you could watch it. And of course, you still had commercials. Streaming solved all of these problems, but in 2025, almost all of these problems are back. I recently wanted to watch The Founder after doing research for my fast food video, but Netflix would not allow me to watch it since I pay for the cheapest version of Netflix that has ads. I was annoyed, but I thought maybe it had something to do with McDonald's having some sort of strict licensing issue that forced Netflix to lock it behind the premium tier, but it turns out there are 138 movies and TV series blocked on Netflix advertising tier. For $8 per month, you cannot watch Spider-Man, White Chicks, Boys in the Hood, or even the Garfield movie. Half the time, you don't even know whether something isn't available or not because of licensing contracts, region restrictions, or just because you're on the wrong subscription plan. The end result feels exactly like cable again, paying more money just to unlock what you thought you were already paying for, thus making piracy the logical solution. You can go to these super cool websites that I never endorse because that is wrong and immoral, and just search basically.
bro's had to say that so many times. We all know he pirates, man. Let's be real in it, but I get it. Like he's trying to protect. Same. Say I don't pirate. You know what I mean? I don't do that. Why would I do that?
Any movie and get a high definition download. However, cable being much more expensive actually did have a slight benefit that nobody realized at the time. The competition for ratings meant that the shows that survived were
better. Yes.
usually the best of the best. Every network was fighting for limited primetime slots, and if a show could not pull in millions of viewers week after week, it was canceled. There was no filler at primetime. Seinfeld, Friends, The Simpsons, The X-Files, Sex and the City, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I could go on and on. Networks weren't pumping out hundreds of new series every year just to fill catalog space. They were making sure the few shows they produced had the writing, acting, and budgets to succeed. And to no surprise at all, these old shows are still dominating streaming services today.
They're better, bro. They're better. I'd say like the closest set of shows that we've had as of recent, in my personal opinion, has been shows like maybe 50 Cent series in terms of like Power and the whole spin-offs, etc. Though in my opinion, those have been crazy, innit? We've also had, for example, Snowfall was crazy as well. If we're looking at other series, we could also say maybe like a Game of Thrones was crazy as well. So it's like in order for us to get a crazy show, we need at least 100, or this is basically what it is right now. We need at least 100 dead shows. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to wait for that? I'd rather see like 5 good, no, let's say 10. Let's say 10 good shows per year rather than basically having to watch, 30 shows and only 5 of them are good. Like, what's the point, bro? Do you know what I mean? So right now, I literally just ask people around me, yo, what shows are you actually watching? What's the best type of shows? And then we literally just rock it like that. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't have time for all this BS, man. But my people, then, let me know what you think down in the comments. Anyways, is streaming becoming such an issue? Are you actually pirating or not? You're probably not going to actually mention that in the comments anyways. But make sure to like the video because it boosts in the algorithm. Also subscribe because we react to different things on this channel, whether it's trending topics, whether it's things that I'm just genuinely interested in. And as we're building the community, I'll make sure to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.